I start on this healing journey, what would you say to a person who, just because of COVID come up in this, or came to this new self-awareness? Like you, ooh, what are we doing in a marriage? Ooh, what am I doing with my life as the job? See, some of these people, and I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but yeah, when they talk about the people not going back to work, it's not because of the little COVID money. They realize that's not where God called them. I'm just gonna say it out loud because so many people keep saying, "Oh, they don't want to work. It's making the country lazy." And all. No, honey, they're not going back to your job for $9 an hour. They're not going back to your job for $10 an hour. They realize they worth more. They deserve more. Bus
Yes.
drivers, these people, they like, wait a minute, was I
Yeah.
risking my life? Y'all call me frontline, but I didn't have any money to show for it, or
Yeah.
retirement, or other benefits. Okay, fine. So, okay, I get a self awareness. I'm like, oh, wow, I have some baggage I've been carrying. I'm mad with fill in the blank, mama, whoever never, showed the kindness, showed the love, accepted me for who I am, gave me the proper tools, didn't know how to love, didn't know how to hug. A lot of Black families that don't say I love you.
It's
Not
true.
all of us. I
It's
mean,
true.
it's just real. We're not all,
Yeah.
dysfunctional. Don't want to throw that out there. It's not a,
Yes.
stereotype we're trying to promote. But for those
Yes.
of us who may have, I'm talking about they provided, you had
Yeah.
that good clothes on, the roof over your head, but the
Mhm.
love, the connection, I
Yeah.
call it being what is it, like emotional constipation? They don't know how to give what we need. It's not their fault. Maybe they never received it and their parents never
It's
received
true.
it, and on and on. So where
Yes.
do we even start? Start with identity, reading the word.
Yes.
How do you unpack though when it's like, okay, flashback. I remember when so and so said this to me, or I
Yes.
realized I don't relate well to men because my dad wasn't there, or whatever it is. How do you
Yes.
start to heal, say that edge of your life? Where do you go? Where do you plug in? How do you like unpack it? Did you go to therapy? May I ask?
I did do therapy
Okay,
when I went through
fantastic,
depression. Yes, I
fantastic.
did. I did go through therapy and I also went through spiritual counseling. And I did try medication at some point in time for depression. It didn't necessarily work for me.
Okay.
Um, but in my book, I talk about some people need both. You need therapy, you need mental counseling, mental health
Mm-hmm.
counseling,
Yeah.
um, in addition to seeking God, right? Because I do feel that these therapies and these interventions are available because of God. Being in the healthcare field myself, I never say don't just believe. Yes, believe God, but take advantage of the tools that are available to help you in the process. Okay, it's going through the process alone. Sometimes, I tell a lot of my family's the storm, once you realize like, oh my gosh, it's like everything is just kind of chaotic initially before the calm, and so you may need that support before the calm to
Yeah.
kind of like someone to talk to get you through the
Yeah.
process. But for me, it began with forgiveness, and I want to say it that should begin with everyone. Forgiveness, and I know a lot of us have heard this, but it's true. You cannot move on until you forgive. You cannot move past the hurt. You cannot attain or walk in your healing until you forgive and let them go. Many of us wait for apology, but by the time we're waiting for apology, we're basically allowing them to have rule over when we can become healed or when we can be walking
Mm.
our healing process. So they still have the authority and power over us because we're waiting for apology. In my violation, I told the person, "Look, I forgive you." I literally had a conversation like, "I forgive you. You did that to me, but I want you to know that I forgive you. I no longer hold that," because God was showing me that I couldn't go anywhere until I forgive and also forgive myself.
Mm.
Forgive myself because I
Mm.
felt guilt. I felt like I put myself in a position. I felt that I should have said something. I felt that I made myself walk into the situations that I encountered. So I was blaming myself. And so I had to learn how to forgive myself, right? Because the Bible
Mhm.
talks about if we don't forgive, basically we discount what God did for us. right? And so it's the same that applies to me. If I don't forgive
Mhm.
myself, I discount that God, what God did for me. I discount that. And I also keep myself in bondage to the past, in bondage to the hurt, in bondage to self-pity. And I don't allow myself to be able to walk in the freedom that Christ laid out for us. So we have to forgive. And it's not just forgiving the other, but I want to highlight forgiving ourselves.
My Lord, that's a word. How many of y'all I'm sorry. I'm in the comments. I'm trying to listen to the words. I'm literally, my spirit is so full. I'm dropping, dimes are being dropped also in the comments section. Thank you, Miss Keisha Williams, Prophetess Natalie, Patricia Joseph, the Glory Center in the building. Thank you guys. The comments are also edifying my spirit right now. Thank you,
Amen.
because they know what time it is. I'm just like, whoa, how many of us waiting for the I'm sorry?
Yes.
Who waiting for the I'm sorry? Be real now. We still love you. You waiting for the I'm sorry? It's not happening. It's not happening. The
Nope.
hurtful part is they probably don't even realize how much it hurt you.
Yes.
What I realized, and I think it was a lady on maybe like Instagram. I watch a lot of Instagram stories, maybe more than I need to. But Instagram story about a lady who had been fired. And
Mm,
she, a young African American woman, saw the woman who fired her in the mall like a few months later. Of course, she had started a business after she got fired. It was a great new beginning, but she still held it.
mm.
Saw the lady and was like, oh, should I walk up? Should I say what's up? I don't want to be that person. Not holding a grudge. I'm going to say hello. She went and the lady didn't even remember who she was.
Look at
I said,
that.
Father, what a word. You
Yes.
holding on to that firing. They don't
Yes.
even remember your name. You can sit on it forever. It can hold you. God help somebody right now. It can hold
Yes.
somebody forever. That thing
Yes.
they did, that word they said, the negativity they spread about you. There
Hmm.
are so many people who have been hurt by other people, particularly women hurt by other women, that
True.
were still holding on to that word that they said that you wasn't going to be able to do this. You wasn't going to be able to build that. You wasn't going to be able to start that. And
Yes.
we holding on to it, and they don't even remember that they said it to you. They moved on with their life. They happy go like, okay, okay. And we're still hurt and held back by it. And it
Yes.
so profoundly gave me goosebumps. I'm like, God, let me think about what I'm holding to. And I have some, can I get in my business, Lord? Oh my God, can I get in my business, Lord? Can I get in my business, Lord? Can I get in my business, Lord? I have some baggage when it comes to business dealings
Mm.
where
Uh-huh.
people I have trusted in the business world who I thought, were vetted, were good people, some even family. Not close now, not a little close, a little further out, but family nonetheless.
Yes.
And I don't know. Prophetess, I've never been married, but I've been divorced. I tell people when it comes to breaking up in business, wow, it feel like a real full fledged divorce.
Wow.
I'm talking about hurt and pain, where I'm like, but I trusted that I thought we
Yes.
was on the same page and we was supposed to be, equal in what we was doing, and
Yeah.
came back almost to stomp out my spirit. And I had to
Yes.
be real with myself, and I'd be like, nothing you did invited this into. The person was already the person. You just didn't realize it. And people
Yes.
are good at hiding.
It's
People are
true.
good at hiding. We be like, boy, we should have seen this. We should have seen.
It's
No,
true.
there's no way you could have seen it because there are wolves in sheep clothing. So
Yes.
whether it's for me, like I said, even now I get challenged when it comes to stepping out in certain business with people. I'd be like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, God, I don't want this to prevent me from meeting the right people who you're
Yes.
blessing me with, who will truly do what they say and be on one accord, and will be able to birth what it is you call us to birth. It can be so difficult though for me to
Yes.
say, oh my God, this was like a traumatic event
I
in
understand.
my life. And for again, you who are watching, your traumatic event could be totally different. You know what it is.
Yes.
All of us have our own story. All of us have something.
Yes.
If you've been walking on this earth long enough, you go feel it in one way or another.
Mhm.
Because human beings are human beings. And for us to really live in the fullness of God and fullness of his promise and the fullness of the vision that he's given to each and every one of us, we have to forgive. First of all,
It's true.
recognize where it came from.
It's
Some of
true.
us we mean and we don't know why.
Yes.
We don't trust and we don't know why. We be
Yes.
talking about other women. Why you talk about other women so much?
Yes.
Sis,
Yes.
sis. Why you talk
Yes.
about her so much? Walk it
Yes.
through the door, girl. I don't like her shoes. I don't like her. Get off her. Why you on her? Why
Yes.
you on her? Your spirit. Something is
Mhm.
heavy in our spirits when we start to attack. Not just
Mhm.
evaluate, because you know when you're doing it out of love, but something is deeply injured in the spirit when we find ourselves, in competition with.
Mhm.
And you know what, Miss Prophetess Kathy, it's like people can have a whole competition with you in their head and you don't even know about it.
You would. Yes. It's so
You're
true.
like, I didn't realize I didn't realize we was in competition or nothing like that.
It's so true. It's so true.
And you just trying to live your life. But I'm talking to the people who may not even realize why they do that. There's
Mhm.
a scar there. There's scar tissue there. There's
Yes.
pieces of us that are always going to have healing. But the beauty is that we can be resilient. We don't
Yes.
have to sit in it, and we could be ashamed that we was like that. We don't have to be like that forever, ever, ever, ever. It's just not way to go. The conversation going crazy. But it's a beautiful thing to realize. Let me ask you this. When you were dealing with your season, when you were unhealed,
Yes.
and you were hearing these voices and you were hearing the negativity, you ain't gonna be nothing, you ain't good enough, you don't deserve nothing better, living below because you just didn't feel like you're worthy of anything more. How did you treat other people in that season? What was it like in terms of your relationships
It
with
was
others?
I could care less. I
Mm,
mean,
mm.
it was one of those situations. It goes back to from the beginning. I said, "Oh, since a man hurt me, I also said I would hurt men."
Oh
And
Lord.
so I
Mm.
would get into relationships, and guys would be head over heel over me, and I'm like, "You're just one of the individuals that I'm dating." Um, and so been caught cheating, and I didn't care. Um, I didn't care. I mean, I've done worse things. I mean, I can't even really get into
No, we
many.
ain't finna go. We ain't finna tell all your business. We ain't finna tell all your business. All of us have, trust me, all of us have secrets.
Yes,
All of us have past. But
yes,
thank God we're redeemed. It's a
yes,
real thing because I like the fact that again, it can be very uncomfortable, and I think more so appropriate for a small group to go
yes,
there. But I
yeah,
think when we are looking at ourselves, if you have patterns of behavior where you're hurting other people, we need to do some self-assessment,
yes,
right? We have to step back and say, whoa, I'm out
yes,
here, as they say, being a savage. The young folks
yes,
say, why are you being a savage? Who hurt you?
yes,
Who
yes,
taught you those patterns?
yes,
What are you trying to justify by doing what you're doing? And is there a way for you to be in a more healthy set of thinking?
yes,
Now, I'm not gonna judge where you are. Only you know where you are. This
yes,
whole program is just designed for you to wake up a little bit more to what might be happening. Again, some of us, we are good. We are sailing, and we've been through and we've done the work, been through the process, but a lot of us have not forgiven.
no,
A lot of us have not reestablished connections with the Most High. Some
yeah,
of us still feel unworthy of God's love. That's very real. I felt
it's
that way. I'm
true.
like, okay, God ain't worried about me. I have to figure it out. No, you don't.
It's true.
No, you don't. And we can continue to be in that low place, or we can continue to try to say, whoa, God, send somebody, send this book. Let me
Yes.
figure out how to start my healing process. I don't want to go to therapy. Nobody, I don't want nobody to tell nobody about it. I'm going to therapy. Girl, we all go to therapy. What are you talking about? Get your
Yes.
life. That
Yes.
$8, $100, that might be the best thing you ever spent. Beautiful sessions. Some things we've been holding for so long
It's true.
by ourselves. Damn
Absolutely.
near about to suffocate, excuse my language, but I'm like, seriously,
Yes.
it hurts my soul sometimes when I meet my sisters and I'm like, God, this woman is heavy. And I don't
Yes.
mean it, I mean it in terms of her spirit and
Yes.
carrying. And then this is what happens to me. Light attracts heavy. Like attracts light. But also heavy want to come and be like, how can I get some of this?
Yeah, can I get some of your light? Yes.
I'll be like, hold on, sis. We got a workshop for that. We got a workshop for that. Oh, we have a book for that. I had so many questions
Yes.
in the comments. What's the cost? They say in $19.99. Pre-order November 1st. The message is so powerful. We'll definitely be ordering it as a gift. Thank you, Keisha.